Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to show you how to use this tool. It's called a hairpin lace loom. I know there are many different types out there, made from different materials and in different shapes, but this is the one I personally love the most. It's very lightweight and it has this plastic base with holes right here, which allows us to move the prongs and adjust the size of our stitches. In this video, I will walk you through how to use it step by step, and also I will show you all the beautiful things we can create with it. So let's get it started. Well, to learn how to use it, we are going to need a few materials. You will need about 100 grams of a lightweight yarn size 3 or 4 that works perfectly, and a 3.5 millimeters crochet hook and some stitch markers. Don't worry, I will show you exactly what we will use them for later on. But well, for now, let's continue. And well, we are going to place a thread behind. We are going to bring it to the center and to the front. Right there, we are going to make a knot right in the middle, taking both threads, you see, like this. We are going to place and make the knot exactly in the middle. So we are going to calculate more or less the distance, and we are going to make a knot. Then we will turn around with our hook. We are going to start crochet and making a chain right here in the middle. So we will take one loop, make one chain. Then we will leave our hook right in the middle. We are always going to turn from right to left. Then we will wrap the loops from the previous stitch by inserting the hook underneath and pulling the yarn through to create a chain. In this case, we have these two threads, the one that is in front and the one that is in the back, and we are going to make a chain right there, like this, always in the middle. I'm sorry I had to pause it, but well, I want to show you, here we are still in the middle, and it's important, remember that we will always turn from right to left, and we have to be careful. We will take care that always this thread go over the last threads that we made, okay? Not here, always here in the top of the last threads that we made. And we have to go in order. We will always put the hook under the last threads that we made, and we are going to pass it through. Take one yarn and make a chain right there in the middle. We will repeat the same. We will turn around. We will take care that the thread is over. We will repeat. We will take the last two threads. Remember, there are going to be two, the one that is in front and the one that is in the back. So we will take two in total. We are going to place the hook underneath, and we are going to bring them through and make one chain. Here I lost my base, but well, don't worry. We just place it back, and like this is how we are going to continue making more rows. And again, we will repeat. I don't know if so far you have any doubt, but basically this is it. We have to take care that we always turn to the same side, that we take these two threads that we go in order, and we will keep making the chains right here in the middle. So these are just the secrets, and you will see that making this you will entertain yourself for hours. Literally, I can sit and make this the whole day. I love this technique, it's so easy. And later, if you want, in another video I can show you how you can make full garments using these techniques, I will show you. Also, you can make your combinations, And in this case I'm using this yarn, but you can use any other yarn. I don't suggest that you use a material that is number 2 or number 1. I think that kinds of materials are not ideal for this tool. Maybe like this weight of yarn, or maybe weight yarn number 5 or 6 could work too. And well, remember that I told you that we were going to need some markers. So well, as I told you, we are going to keep making more rows. You can count the rows like this. And for example, you can make sections out of 10 rows or out of 20 rows. In my case, I will make sections of 50 rows each, and after I finish my 50 rows, I will put a marker. And like this is how I'm going to continue and divide the sections. And later it will be easier to divide and to count the number of rows I have, because if not it will be more difficult and we will get confused. And well, I will keep making more rows. Please always keep this lace between these prongs and don't lose the counting. Use the markers, and then I will show you how we are going to take the prongs and how we are going to make this. But for now, let's continue making more rows and use your markers and divide in sections of 50 or 20 like you want. Well, look how many loops do I have. Remember that I told you that we should use the markers to point it out after 50 loops and put a marker. This is what I made. I made 100, 150 and 200. So like this is how we are going to count. And also according, for example, I don't know, probably you made segments of 20 rows or 30 or 10, but well, at the end it's important that you use your markers, because later it will be more difficult to count the rows. So now it comes the most, let's say, difficult step. We are going to take this base. Once we finish all the rows, we are going to remove the base and carefully take out the 2 rows. I recommend doing this on a table and trying not to move your project too much. Today I'm showing you this technique using the simplest and easiest stitches. I know there are many different ways to do it, but for me this is one of the easiest methods. I also really like because it doesn't stretch as much as other stitches, where sometimes the final results doesn't look as neat or beautiful. But well, for me this one is my favorite, and you will see. Also, I suggest that you try with other techniques and stitches and see which one is the best for you. But well, in my case, in my experience, this stitch it's one of the easiest and the results are cute too. So well, here at the end we are going to take this last loop and we are going to make a long loop almost at the same distance of the last loops we made. We won't count the first one, we will count 2, then 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10 loops. Okay, you have to be careful and check if you didn't leave any extra loop behind and that you go in order. Once you are sure, you are going to bring them through and make one chain to close. You see? Then we are going to make 2 chains, 1, 2. So this is one segment. Then we are going to make and take the next 2 loops and we are going to bring them through and make one chain. Then 1, 2, 3, 4 chains, and we will take again 2 loops. We are going to bring them through, make 4 chains, and like this, at the end we will have 5 segments of only 2 loops
with 4 chains between them, okay? And then after these 5 segments of only 2 loops and 4 chains between, we are going to repeat again the big segment of the 10 loops together, like the ones we made at the beginning, okay? So here we are going to make the last segment out of the 5 that we have to make. And here when we are about to make the big segment, we are going to just make 2 chains, okay? And we are going to take 10 loops. Remember to go in order, do not twist, and that you check that you didn't leave any other loop or thread behind. Then you are going to bring them through and make 1 chain to close. So this is the segment. So here we have the big segment, the 5 segments with only 2 loops and with 4 chains between. I can tell that here I left this thread in the back, so of course I will repeat that again slowly and carefully. I'm going to repeat and fix that. I didn't take this last loop, so I will take one off and I'm going to continue. So as you see, it's very common that this kind of mistake happened, so I should have made this more slowly and count better. So like this is how we are going to continue the whole row. So see you when we finish to make these segments, and at the end I will teach you how we are going to continue in the other side. And well, here I finished. I want to make a corner right here to not distort the shape of this project. So let me see how it's better. So we are going to make 4 chains. I don't know if it's better to make a long or an extended double crochet, but no, I think that after the 4 chains that we made, we are going to make 6 more rows, 4, 5, and 6. We are going to insert the hook right here in the middle. We are going to make a single crochet, then 6 chains again. And like this, we arrive to the other side, and we are going to continue with the same stitch. So here, like we finish with the segment of 10 loops, then we are going to do the opposite. So here we are going to start making the segments of 2 loops together with 4 chains between. Remember to go in order to not leave any loop behind. So here we are going to take, oh, but before, remember to make the 2 chains that we made at the beginning. Then we will continue making 4 chains between segments. Remember that segments like this one, we are going to make 5. So here we have 2 segments so far, so we are about to start with the third one. And remember that between these segments we are going to make 4 chains. Then single crochet, then 4 chains, then we will take 2 loops, and then we are going to make 4 chains, and then we are going to continue with the big segment where we take the 10 loops. So like this is how we are going to continue the whole row. Remember that when we are about to start with the segment of 10 loops, we are going to make 2 chains before and after the segment. So well, here we are going to take the 10 loops like this. Remember to go in order and to make sure that we don't leave any loop and thread behind. Then we are going to bring them through make one chain and then 2 chains, and we will continue with the next 5 segments of 2 loops only. Remember that we are going to do the opposite of what we made in the other side. So see you when we finished to make this row, and in the other side we are going to close and finish the row like we started. So here we are about to finish the row, and as I told you, we have to make the opposite of what we made in the other side. So here is perfect. Remember that at the end we are going to make the 2 chains plus 6 extra chains to make the corner right there and to not distort the shape. So here we are going to make finish making 6 chains, 1 single crochet, and then again 6 chains, and we are going to finish making a double crochet like this, and with this we finished the row. And well, with this we finished the first strip. As you could see, it's very easy, or I don't know, what do you think? But I find this technique very easy. If you want, you can combine and mix other stitches or continue making more strips like this to make a beach cover up, or to make a skirt, or to make a blanket, or even a blouse. You can make many things. But well, I hope you really enjoyed this introduction and short video of how to use the hairpin lace technique. It is a technique that I absolutely love, and if you would like to learn more about it, let me know in the comments what would you like to learn to make next. Thank you so much for watching, and please don't forget to subscribe and to give me a like. Take care. Bye bye.